Hello. In a few days is Yom Ha-Atzmaut, Independence Day for the State of Israel. It comes 1 week after Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Memorial Day. These two modern Jewish remembrances are our own version of death and resurrection. It is a good opportunity to talk about the State of Israel, its achievements, and its challenges. Needless to say, Israel has made enormous progress since its birth on May 14, 1948. First, there is economic strength. A $300 billion economy, larger than that of any of its neighbors, coupled with a fast-rising standard of living. Then there is intellectual strength, evidenced by a steady stream of technological achievements, fueled by powerful creativity, inventiveness, and innovative thinking. Third, there is physical strength in defending itself against murderous enemies. Even though it is outmanned and outgunned, it wins on the battlefield by speed and resourcefulness. In terms of size, Israel is among the smallest nations on earth. It is only the size of New Jersey, and its population is 1,000th the population of the earth. Yet, it has the most of many things per capita: the most university degrees, the most scientific papers, the most scientists and technicians, the most home computers, and the most museums. It is near the top per capita in patents filed or new books published or rate of entrepreneurship. A full 1/4 of its workforce holds university degrees, and 12% hold advanced degrees. But most of all, Israelis have a strong sense of optimism and display a boundless joy of living. In other words, they are happy. Many studies show that Israel is among the happiest countries on earth. The latest Gallup survey shows that Israel is the world's 11th happiest country, behind only the Scandinavian countries, Switzerland, Canada, Holland, Australia, and New Zealand. And Israel's grade was 7.3 out of 10, not far behind Denmark, the happiest country, who scored 7.5 out of 10. The unhappiest country, the African nation of Burundi, scored 2.9 out of 10. The yardsticks by which happiness was measured were higher life expectancy, wide social support, freedom to make choices, low corruption, high generosity, less inequality of happiness, and high gross domestic product per person. What explains Israeli happiness? Could it be because they feel that every day may be their last, so they might as well make the most of life? The commentator Spengler has an interesting view. In a column he wrote for the Asia Times, in which he asks, "Why is Israel the world's happiest country?" he says, and I quote, "Envy surrounds no country on earth like the State of Israel, and with good reason. By objective measures, Israel is the happiest nation on earth. It is one of the wealthiest, freest, and best educated, and it enjoys a higher life expectancy than Germany or the Netherlands. But most remarkable is that Israelis appear to love life and hate death more than any other nation. Can it be a coincidence that this most ancient of nations, and the only nation persuaded that it was summoned into history for God's service, consists of individuals who appear to love life more than any other people? Their suicide rate is very low. Israel is surrounded by neighbors willing to kill themselves in order to destroy it. As much as you love life, we love death, Muslim clerics teach. The same formula is found in a Palestinian textbook for second graders. Apart from the fact that the Arabs are among the least free, least educated, and apart from the oil states, poorest people in the world, they are also the unhappiest, even in their wealthiest kingdoms. The contrast of Israeli happiness and Arab despondency is what makes peace an elusive goal in the region. It cannot be attributed to material conditions of life. Oil-rich Saudi Arabia ranks 171st on an international quality of life index, below Rwanda. Even less can we blame unhappiness on experience, for no nation has suffered more than the Jews in living memory. nor has a better excuse to be miserable. Arabs did not invent suicide attacks, but they have produced a population pool willing to die in order to inflict damage greater than any in history. 2/3 of Israelis believe in God. Even Israelis averse to religion evince a different kind of secularism than we find in the secular West. They speak the language of the Bible and undergo 12 years of Bible studies in state elementary and secondary schools. Faith in God's enduring love for a people that believes it was summoned for his purposes out of a slave rabble must be part of the explanation." Unquote. Yet there are daunting challenges facing Israel. It must contend with relentless hostility from its neighbors who teach hatred and anti-Semitism in their schools and in their media. It endures constant terrorism and missile attacks on its civilians. It hears threats of wiping it off the map from Iran, who has been trying to get nuclear weapons for this purpose. The Arabs within its borders are multiplying faster than the Jews and are increasingly hostile. It is in danger of becoming blasé in expecting a win on the battlefield every time, when a single loss may mean the death of the state. It faces increasing hostility from the world at large, where many groups and nations use all pretexts not only to criticize it, but to demonize it, to delegitimize it, using it as a convenient vehicle for traditional anti-Semitism. There is friction between secular and religious Jews. On a more mundane level, there are water shortages. Pessimists argue that even peace with the Arabs will bring its own set of problems. They fear there will be a gradual loss of interest in keeping the state Jewish. They fear that intermarriage with Arabs will soar, resulting in multitudes of children with mixed parentage and an uncertain identity, who would show little or no Jewish commitment, may even hold anti-Semitic views, and would try to annul the law of return, guaranteeing every Jew in the world the right to emigrate there. They fear that civil war between secular and religious factions would erupt. After all, the Talmud itself says that senseless hatred, sinat hinam, among the Jews allowed the Romans to destroy the Second Temple. But Israelis happily navigate these shark-infested waters with a smile on their faces, treating every day as another miracle. David Ben-Gurion, the main founder of the State of Israel, once said, "We Jews don't believe in miracles. We rely on them." Happy birthday, Israel. Am Yisrael Chai.